Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and this is the final round of the Snow City 9-hole cup tournament, which features the City Park course. In this video, you're going to see a ton of drops. Had a really good shooting day today. Picked up the eagle on hole number 2, right, the long par 5, and then I dropped hole number 3, hole number 4, hole number 7, hole number 8, and hole number 9. So there is just a ton of content in this video to help you get to the top of the standings. If you're somebody who likes to see the videos and have text guides, please remember to check out the description below where you can find a link to our Patreon to where you can sign up for text guides. Print them out, take notes, do whatever you want, but it does help a lot of people who are visual, but also learners when it comes to, pen and paper. But all right, let's go here to hole number 1. Hole number 1, we're going to just play it like we normally do here. We can go ahead and go 2 bars of side spin to the left, and we can get away with about 1 bar of 1 bar of top spin. You can notice here, I put my yellow ring right up on the rough line. When my spins are set, this is what our ball guideline looks like right there, okay? And then we make our adjustment. Then from here, it's pretty simple. We want to make sure that we do not overpower your shot. Again, do not overpower your shot. You can curl until the left side of your ball is covering up the blue adjustment window. Here you see that with that side spin to the left combined with a 1 bar top spin, we don't encounter the glitch roll. We come in very nicely, and this is really perfect yardage to make sure we can easily take shot number 2. Now, I am playing this one 10% at max. Even though I'm not at max distance of my club, that is how I am pulling here. You're going to notice I'm going with, a little bit more than 1 bar of backspin and just a couple of clicks of side spin to the right. Leaving my ball guideline just a tad short of the hole. I'm going to let that 4 mile per hour wind, that tailwind push me back towards the pin. Hit a perfect ball. And this one would have been a nice one to drop for sure, but we do get close. It does give you the ability to see where I missed just barely to the right-hand side. So go ahead and only play with the backspin. Take that side spin to the right off, and you might pick yourself up an eagle there on a very tough par 4. Here we're going to go to hole number 2. I'm going to go no moving target. I just want you to set your spins and then shoot. Let's take a look at the graphic here real quick, though. So you're going to notice here that my wind is 2.1 miles per hour. So I'm going to go ahead and set my spin. You're going to notice here, but anything over 3 miles an hour, you can use 3 top spin, okay? Here the wind is low, so I need less top spin. You're going to see I do 2.5 top and 1 bar of side spin to the left. Again, over 3 miles an hour, you can do 3 top. But here you see with this top spin 2.5 and the 1 bar side spin to the left, we come in very nicely, leaving plenty of room between the fairway and the rough. Now that's going to take us for shot number 2. Shot number 2, I don't pull any elevation. I set my top spin, I set my side spin to the left. You can see here full top, 2 bars of side spin to the left, and I just put my ball guide line until it's just right on the left-hand side of that rough. I'm using some overpower combined with a little bit of curl to the left. All I'm trying to do is just make sure that I land on the fairway. That's it. I land on the fairway. That's going to give me an opportunity to drop this shot here. 10% at mid. A lot of people don't pick up the eagle on this par 5. So when you do pick this one up, it's almost like getting an extra drop. Here we're going to go with backspin. And I like to typically try to use the fringe on this hole, but you're noticing here I'm going with about 4 bars of backspin. That's just because this green can be very glitchy. So I put that backspin on, and then I push my target up to make sure that my ball guideline is through the hole. I make my pull for the wind, hit a perfect ball, and this ball does find its way into the cup. A little bit of a tricky one here, but you see we come in very nicely. We smack the pin for the eagle on hole number 2. Hole number 3 here, we're going to play this one 20% at max. We are not at maximum distance of our backbone, but that is how we are pulling the shot. 20% at max, all I want you to do is set your backspin, and then I want you to find the landing position. You're going to see here where the landing position is. Get a nice look at exactly where I'm aiming. So notice we're going 4.5 back. 4.5 back, and you can see right where the aim point is. Really, really nice look at this here. If you have a backbone 10, 20% at max is 1-to-1, so 2.7 mile per hour here will be a 2.7 ring pull. So again, if you're playing with the maxed out backbone and you're using a P1 ball like this, 20% at max is the same thing as 1-to-1. We do pick up the nice hole-in-one here, and we move on to hole number 4. Like I said, we drop hole number 4 as well. 10% at max, all we're using as a navigator here. We're going to set our spins to 4 top, 1 bar a side spin to the right. From there, we put our yellow ring right there up on the rough line. I do the plus 5 yard mark here. The thing about this one is we don't need a ton of distance on the drive. We just need to hit a perfect ball. Perfect ball, super important. We do get it. We bounce over the rough and the sand, and we come up very nicely. Remember, we don't want to get too far to the right on this particular hole because it does give us an odd shot for shot number 2. When we land like this, we're able to approach the pin straight up. I'm going to apply my backspin. Same thing here with a little bit of a wonky ball guide line on this green. But you're going to notice, again, I'm going heavy on the backspin. About 3.8 bars of backspin. I put my ball guide line to the center of the hole. I pull this one 15% at mid. So 15% at mid, I do sneak this one here into the left-hand side of the cup. I do call that out because this is the strongest wind that we can get in rookie with a P1 ball, 4.5. So maybe with the less of a wind push, I might have missed that shot. I probably would have missed that shot, so keep that in mind there. Lower wind, you might want to play at 10% at mid, okay? So that way you don't pull as many rings. That's why it's always important to listen. All right, I skipped a hole here. This hole is the next par 3. We're going to play at 30% at mid, and I do have one advice to give here. With our navigator, we're going to set our spins at half top, half right, and then we're going to find our landing position. You're going to notice here the red ring is up against the rough line, okay? That's the landing position. Then I try to zoom in here to show you these squares, but this is a terrible distorted replay. It's very, very blurry. All right. So I want you to notice that the end of my ball guide line is in that dark green square, kind of like a couple squares below the pin. As you can see, I'm leaving my shot short. That is after the spins are set. What I want you to try to do is once you find this landing position, I want you to click on your ball again, and I want you to change your spins. I want you to keep the top spin the same at a half a bar, but then I want you to reduce the side spin to the right by 0.3, okay? That's what I want you to try to do. I don't know if it's going to work, but I think it should be pretty darn close because you're going to see here that I played this one 30% at mid, and then with a perfect ball, I kept missing to the right. And it has to be that side spin that's doing it. You see here I missed to the right. So I feel like if you reduce that by 0.2 or 0.3 after you find your landing spot, you should be much closer to the hole-in-one. I mean, that's very close right there, but I think that's the easiest way to set it up. Okay, now we can go on to the next hole, which is going to be this guy right here. This is going to be an easy one to take a berserker to. We're going to go full top, 1 bar, a side spin to the right. People might ask, do you have to play a berserker here? No, you do not. You can make this with a Titan or with a Kingmaker. I had an opponent make it with a Kingmaker, and they had an extra mile 7. Now, they did have to go with a lot of overpower and let the ball rip, but they did make it down to the second part of the fairway. So I thought that I would let people know that, but it is going to require a really good shot with overpower. Here with the berserker, I can just play it straight up. I don't need any overpower. As a matter of fact, if I were to overpower this shot, I would be in the rough. But here with the 6 top, 1 bar side spin to the right, with the same aim spot, we come in very nicely, and the ball stops short here, stays on the fairway, leaving us for a really good opportunity for the albatross here, which a lot of people will not get. We do play this shot uphill, minus 10% at mid. You're going to notice here I'm going to apply backspin again, heavy with the backspin, about 3.9, 4.5 mile per hour wind. I put the ball guide line center of the cup through the hole. It's always important when you get that little bit of headwind flicker through the hole. Again, a normal shot, very, very close to the albatross here, some very minor adjustments, and some of you are going to pick this one up and you're going to be hyped about it. You see there, I barely missed to the right hand side. That's it. So barely missed to the right hand side, and I pulled it minus 10%. So what changes can you make? One, basically with the minus 10%, I just over pulled the shot. You could change it to minus 15 or minus 20%. You could start there, or you could try to just maybe offset to the left-hand side of the cup. So a couple different ideas there. If it was me, I would change the elevation. I would take a practice shot. I would play at minus 15%, hope that you hit perfect so that you can learn from where you're at. But obviously when you're changing the elevation on my shots, you're going to want to keep the backspin the same, right? So play with the same spins, change the elevation, pull the same distance, and see what happens there. That'll take us on to hole number 7. Hole number 7, I did pick up the hole-in-one on both of my accounts. I will show you both because the wind is very different. 4.5 on this one, and the other one was in the 3s. Pretty easy here. We're going to just get our backbone. We're going to go with a navigator ball. We're going to go full back, 1 bar of side spin to the right. Here I am using the fringe as my reference point. So my bounce is on the fringe. And then you can see here the bottom or the top of my ball guideline, right where the end of my ball guideline is, that last bounce is basically in the top right-hand corner of that light green square. So green ring on the fringe, last bounce, top corner of that light green square. Here I make my pull. I play at 10% at mid. 4.5 miles per hour is the highest wind that you can get with a navigator ball in rookie division. I always call that out because sometimes the wind push can obviously deter the shot. But here we come in very nicely. We catch a nice part of the green, and we come into the top of the pin for the hole-in-one. Now here the wind is in the 3.8s. Okay, just trying to find the landing spot. I'm sorry, 3.5 is the wind. So this one is quite a bit less. 3.5. Just kind of fast forwarding for time's sake. My setup here was just a tad bit different than the other one, but either way, we're just trying to catch this nice little slope. You saw that both balls bounced on the fringe. This one comes in dead center of pin for the hole-in-one. So it gives you a really good reference point, and hopefully you're able to pick that one up as well. That'll take us here to hole number 8. Now this one is fun because we really get to go bombs away and launch one here. Now, same thing. I had an opponent with an extra mile 8. Make it with a Titan ball. All right, so you can definitely make it with a Titan ball, but here again, the Berserker is best because I'm going to be playing shot number 2 kind of unique, and I don't think that you're going to be able to pull off shot number 2 with a Titan unless you get more yards than I did here on this drive, which is probably going to be doubtful unless you're playing it with an extra mile 9. But I did clip the rough and roll out, so it's not impossible to get more yards with the Titan as long as you don't clip the rough if you go fairway to fairway. But either way here, I'm playing 10% at max. We're going to go with the max backspin shot. We don't play these type of shots too often in a tournament, but the thing is here, if you try to take a regular shot to pin, you're going to have to use a lot of backspin because, again, the ball guideline really stinks on this green. Okay, it's very, very inconsistent. You're probably going to aim at pin, and you're probably going to end up 50 feet short. It's really weird. So here with the max backspin shot, it's kind of impossible to really end up short because you can see we have a nice ball guideline going through the front of the cup. From here, I'm just going to adjust 10% at max because at the plus 8 yard mark, I'm definitely at max distance of my thorn. I take a normal shot, I hit perfect, and the ball ends up in the hole. So I think this is a pretty consistent shot. I wish I'd have played this shot on both of my accounts. I tried this going right at the pin on the other account, and it did come up way short even though my ball guideline was at pin, and that's happened to me in the past. So I think this right here is the way to start playing this hole in tailwind. Really like this shot. I hope you're able to drop it. Would love to hear from you in the comments. Takes us on here to hole number 9. Do finish strong with the Albatross. I hope you finish strong as well. Katana ball is all we need. 4 top, 3 bars of side spin to the right. Put your yellow ring on the rough line with the end of your ball guideline looking like this. Okay. Oop. Like that. See how it's on the fairway, not in the rough? Here, make your pull. I do want you to go ahead and pull at maximum distance of your club, even though we're not quite at max, all right? You notice here, about 3/4 of a ball of curl to the right. hit a perfect ball, and this thing comes in very nicely on the fairway. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you're finding some value in my walkthrough. It would be awesome if you would smash that subscribe button. It would be awesome if everybody would pound that like button as well. See if we can get this thing up to 100 likes today. Here we go, minus 10% at mid. This is going to be the Albatross shot and drop. Again, heavy with the backspin. Always gives us good ball control. You're going to notice here, I think I go 4.5 back. And basically here, it's just about pointing the ball guideline at the pin. And a little bit short, letting the tailwind do the work. I hope I did a great job for you today. I really took my time. I used a little bit more practice tokens than I normally do on a 9-hole cup. You know, this course here has given a lot of people problems, including myself in the past. And I really just wanted to go out here and just have a huge round, which I'm glad that I did, and I hope that you do too. If you'd like to show support for my time and my efforts, I always put a link to my PayPal in the comments section below. Any donations that come through, I am very, very grateful and thankful for. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. I will talk to you for the next tournament. Thanks, everybody.